everyone, it is Monday, and if you watched my vlog from last week for Middle Grade Magic, I ended that vlog on Friday, and I meant to start this next one on Saturday. Well, it's Monday, so I did not vlog at all this weekend, but things were a bit crazy, and I just really didn't read at all this weekend. Saturday we went to go to Crate & Barrel in the morning to go furniture shopping, and then spent the entire afternoon, evening at a friend's house because it was super hot out and they have air conditioning. And then Sunday, they let us borrow some window air conditioners, and so we installed those on Sunday morning. And so now, and within like a couple hours, our house went down several degrees, and then within the last 24 hours, our house has gone from like 83 inside to 73. So it worked to get the air conditioners. And then we also did some more furniture shopping. So we've ordered our furniture now. Unfortunately, our couch has like special order fabric, and so it's gonna take 2 months to get our couch in. So we're gonna be stuck with kind of temporary furniture for a little bit, but I think our chairs are coming in earlier. Yeah, so now, like I said, didn't do much reading. So this week, Reading Rush starts. So this will be both Reading Rush and Middle Grade Magic for a few days. So like I said, we didn't get anything really done. So if you saw my last vlog, you knew I was reading Princess Curse. I'm still doing that, but I am only a couple chapters from the end, so that'll be finished today. This morning I also started an audiobook called Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. That was not on my TBR, but Books and Lala was talking about it and raving about it in her thriller video, and it sounded really interesting. So I just had to start listening to it. So it has purple on the cover, so I'm just gonna make it work and move some stuff around on my TBR, and I'm loving it so far. I'm only like 15% in, and I'm already still loving it. And I was gonna record me opening some mail, but I have children everywhere, so we'll see if this works. So this was supposed to come in on Friday because I got another book that day, but it got delayed, so I just got it. So I got Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Now I own the whole trilogy in paperback, which is what I wanted, so I can reread it. And then this is very exciting. I got bookends that are shaped like cats. Let's see if I can open it. Oh, like cat bookends. So my plan is to put them on our fireplace mantle, so I have to see if they fit. Let me see if I can show you. So that's our fireplace mantle there, and it was my plan to put some books on there that I'm currently reading, so they're not just sitting around on like, most of the time my books end up on like the side tables and stuff like that, so I plan to put them on the mantle so that I don't have them all over the place. So it is Tuesday now. It seems that I am doing bare minimum vlogging. Sorry, maybe I'll get a little more today. So yesterday I ended up finishing The Princess Curse, which isn't really part of Reading Rush. It was left over from Middle Grade Magic. I did like it. I gave it 4 stars. It's kind of a mix of both the 12 Dancing Princesses and Beauty and the Beast. So if you like fairy tale retellings, I thought it was really well written. There was one little thing that bothered me, but it's kind of a spoiler, so I can't really talk about it, but still 4 stars, enjoyable. And I will read other things by Mary Haskell. She was fun. And then I started 2 audiobooks. So you heard me say I had started Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I'm at like 70% through already because I kind of can't put it down. So whenever I can listen to it, I have been, because it just has that like atmospheric, ominous feeling of like something's happening and we don't know what it is, and I love it. So it's about I don't know if you heard what it's about, I don't think I said. It is about a woman in her 20s who is being an apartment sitter for this fancy building in New York City. And they have all these rules for their apartment sitters, like they can't stay a night away from the apartment, they can't have any visitors, all this stuff, and just like weird things have been happening, and you don't know, like, I don't know if it's paranormal or like somebody doing something, and so just like weird things are happening. So it has that kind of gothic like feel, and like she's all alone type of thing going on, and I love it. Like, just is really interesting. So I'm excited to find out like today. I'm sure I'm gonna finish it today since I only have 30% left, and like find out what the solution is. And then I also started the audiobook, The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society audiobook. And the reason I started that one too is because I really want to finish that one earlier in the week, since that is the movie I'm going to end up watching on Netflix. And I just want time to be able to watch the movie later in the week, so I figured I should read it now. I'm only like maybe 20% of the way through, so I'm not like way far in, but I'm enjoying it. It's all in letters, so it's an how do you say that? Epistolary written. So yeah, it's written in letters from the different people, starring this woman named Juliet, who wrote articles during the war, and during World War II, and like made people feel better about, you know, like what was going on. I mean, mainly it was just kind of like a comic relief kind of thing. And so now she's trying to figure out what to do now that the war is over, and like what she wants to write next. And she's writing to different people in her life, her, you know, the agent from the publishing place, and from somebody who's interested in her work, things like that. So lots of letters. Sorry, Eliza has decided to get frustrated. So I just have to say, this is the life. Like, just sitting out on my outdoor furniture, watching the kids play. It's not too hot today. It's only like in the upper 70s, so it's like perfect to be outside and not too hot. I'm sure it'll warm up so I can take off my sweater later, but like it is like perfect time. And really, like, my kids are just over there playing in dirt. You know, it's fine. They're not eating it. Like, basically the old owners left all these like pots that I'm assuming they used to put like annuals in them. So they're just pots full of dirt and soil, and they like to take the dirt out of one pot and move it to the next one. And you know what? It keeps them entertained. I'll just give them a bath afterwards. They probably need a bath anyways because they're covered in sunscreen. So let them just have fun getting completely filthy dirty. So I'm sitting here watching them do this, and I'm probably just going to listen to my audiobook. The other option I have is that I can read the physical book I started, which is Keeper of the Lost Cities by Shannon Messenger. I really wanted to finish this one by Wednesday because this is also a middle grade and was one I was going to do for middle grade magic. It's pretty thick, but it's reading fast. I mean, I just only read it a little bit last night before bed, and it is reading very like fantasy, fun. Actually, the beginning felt very much like Percy Jackson, like jumping right into some action, involved a museum, so it felt very much like the beginning of Percy Jackson. And I just think it's going to be kind of similar to that, you know, in the fact of like having another like kind of world and background that we're being exposed to. Like the main character, I think she's finding out that she has a different heritage than what she originally thought, and that being like maybe that she's not really human. That's why I picked this for the reading rush, also to be my non-human main character. And it's not really a spoiler because we found in like the second chapter that she might not be a human. And I'm only like 25 pages in, but I think this will read fast when I get time to sit down and read it. So I'll either read this or listen to my audiobook, depending on what I can do while still watching them play.
There's some black stuff over here.
So I finished my first book of the readathon. I finished Lock Every Door, and I thought it was great. I'm giving it 5 stars. I just thought it was pure entertainment. Like, it was just like that gothic, spooky feel. As soon as I was getting to the point towards like the last 30% where I was starting to be like, oh, it's dragging a little bit, a new twist was put in, or a new like possibility, like a new guess that our main character is trying to figure out, and I was like, oh, well, let's follow that thread. And you know, it just kept towards the end like changing up everything. That's all right, pick it up. And I ultimately just found it purely entertainment. Right now the girls are coloring. Are you coloring? Yeah, you're coloring. Well, it's the evening. It's been a bit of a crazy evening. My 4-year-old is going through a very heavy tantrum phase. So almost every single night before bed, it is like screaming, kicking, flailing, sometimes spitting. It's just a lot to deal with, and it's coming out constantly to complain that she's starving even though she won't eat her dinner. And yeah, it's the life of a parent of a preschooler that they go through these phases. So she's in one of these phases. So I'm finally sitting down and I am starting my all-in-one sitting, not in one sitting, it's all in one spot, is that what it is? And so I'm reading a graphic memoir for that, and I just picked this chair because like we said, we don't really have permanent chairs. So hopefully I can finish this before this chair ends up somewhere else in the house. But it shouldn't be too long. It's about a woman who is through her whole process of finding out she has breast cancer and everything. So heavy material, but she's a cartoonist. So she splices in a lot of humor throughout the story. I'm not very far. I think I'm 20 pages in. So we're still at the very beginning of the process. Okay, everyone, so it is Wednesday morning, and yesterday just got away from me. I just feel very unproductive. I don't even know what happened. Like, I guess all morning was absorbed with like playing and baths, and then the afternoon I think got a little absorbed with my older daughter had a lot of tantrums, and it just like everything seemed to just kind of, you're doing good today, B. I love you. Yeah, everything just seemed to kind of slip between my fingers. Like they also did offset naps, so when one went to sleep, the other one woke up, and so it was like no time to do anything. So yeah, I just feel like I didn't do anything around the house. I didn't get much reading done. Like basically, I got 2 chapters in Keeper of the Lost Cities. It's okay. For a little, she can do a little bit. Listening to more of the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, and I'm really enjoying it, but it's going slow because it has a lot of accents. Like it takes place in England, but it has like different regional accents, and so I can't really listen to it fast because I kind of lose some of what's happening. So I'm listening to it on like 1.25 speed, which is pretty slow, but I'm really enjoying it. It feels very like slice of life type of story. Like it's not really plot focused. It's more just about these characters and how they are dealing after the war and how they're getting back to life again, and then it goes back into some of the things that were happening during the war for them. And so I'm really enjoying it, but it's slow moving. So yeah, I only listened to maybe an hour of that yesterday. So not much is happening with the reading rush. Not much happening in the house. So today I am like determined to be productive. So already it's what, 8:30, and already today I did a ton of dishes. Like you can see behind me, those are all like hand washed. I did this morning. I also did a whole load in the dishwasher and clean the counters and everything. So already feeling productive in the kitchen. My goal today is to get this like main area into some semblance of order and like normal life. Like obviously we don't have our furniture yet, but there's just like stuff sitting around places that doesn't have a home yet, and I just want to get this to be like feel like more of a living space, so it doesn't feel like we're living in the middle of a half done area. I mean, even without furniture, yeah, I could still make it a little more homey. I did order some curtains, and I'm like, yeah, we don't have furniture, but we'll have curtains. That's great. Yeah, it's kind of silly, but I just wanted to feel a little more like we're living here. So it is after lunch now. After my earlier video, we got all ready for the day, and we went to the local library. After this, I will insert a little video of us at the library hanging out so you can see. It's basically just one room. It's not that exciting, but the kids were having fun playing, and I did pick up some books. So I ended up getting Mortal Heart by Robin LaFavors. I said I was buddy reading this with some friends this week. I don't know if I'm going to get to it this week with reading rush going on. I'm just not super excited to get to this right now. And so I have the audiobook, now I have the real book. So if I can't get to this week, then I will pick it up after the reading rush and still like join into the chat with that group. But I just wanted to have it since they had it at the library. And then the other two I grabbed because they're graphic novels, and I might be able to squeeze them in for the reading rush, because yesterday I said I was starting Cancer Vixen as my book to read in one spot, and I only got a little into it, and I'm just not really connected to it. I'm still gonna read it at some point, but I just don't know if I'm gonna read it for this week, because the thing is, like, even though it's about her experience with cancer, she also like is talking a lot about her time in New York. It just seems that she is babbling a lot, like going off on different tangents, and so I just wasn't really connecting with it yesterday. So even though it's a graphic memoir, so it should be fast, it was not going fast for me. Like, I only made it through 40 pages in one sitting. And so I just feel like I'm losing momentum on this readathon, so I needed something different to do as my book to sit in one spot. So I picked up two other ones that I've been looking at doing. I have a young adult one, which is Fence, Volume 1, and I've heard a lot of really good things about Fence, and they also have several of these volumes on Scribd. So if I like this one, then I might just read the rest of the ones they have on Scribd on my laptop, so it's a little bigger. So this is a really short one, so this might end up just being one I sit down and read real quick. Or, because today is still Middle Grade Magic, the last day of Middle Grade Magic, I might pick up Be Prepared by Vera Brosgol. This is a graphic novel about, it's semi-autobiographical, so it's about Vera when she went to summer camp when she was little and her kind of horrible experience there. If you didn't know, I used to work in camping for a very long time, so camping books are intriguing to me. I also read Anya's Ghost by Vera, and actually that was my very first graphic novel ever, was Anya's Ghost, and I really liked it, so I thought I would pick up another one by her. This one is interesting because it's all in like a green tone. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, it's kind of fun, and since it's middle grade, I can do it for both readathons. I can feel like I did a little bit more for Middle Grade Magic since I've only read 3 books for that readathon so far. So I might just sit here now and read this in order to count for both readathons.
That's what I just put.
Well, I finished it. So I sat down and did my book in the same spot, Be Prepared, and I didn't like it. I don't even know if I should rate this because I just don't really even know who the intended audience necessarily for this. It's about Vera when she was 9, I believe. She goes to camp and, she gets put in with the older kids. So like the kids she's in the cabin with are like 14, which just seems crazy to me for somebody who used to work at camp for a 9-year-old to be with the 14-year-olds. They're mean to her. She spends a lot of time just being completely miserable until something finally good happens towards the end of this. But for the most part, this was just like a misery fest. And I just don't even know, I didn't enjoy it, and I know it's written for kids, but I wouldn't want necessarily kids. Most kids I wouldn't recommend this for because I would think that would make it so they would never want to go to camp ever again. But I guess maybe for kids that already have been having a hard time, who went to camp and didn't enjoy it, and so then they could commiserate. Maybe that's the intended audience, but if so, then that's a very small audience. So I don't know. I didn't like it. I do like her kind of drawing style. It's cute and fun. So I would try something else from her. And I did like Anya's Ghost when I read that, but yeah, this I did not enjoy. But I finished it, and so that's 2 challenges I've done. I've done the purple cover and the sitting in one spot. So at least I've accomplished something today. Today I was supposed to be my motivated day, and I was expecting to have all this time this afternoon to work on stuff, but this one is refusing to take a nap. I've put her down 3 times now, and every time it has just been screaming and screaming and screaming. It doesn't matter what, you give her more milk or a snack or whatever, she just won't stop screaming. So I guess she will go all afternoon without a nap, meaning she'll be miserable tonight. So my productivity is probably going to plummet. Oh well, we'll see. Maybe she'll decide. It's already 3 o'clock, so if she hasn't napped yet, it's probably not gonna happen. So it is now evening. I just put Eliza to bed, and Bernadette is hanging out with my husband outside. So I'm just kind of chilling in here, listening for Eliza, because since she had a hard afternoon, I just want to make sure she's actually asleep. So I was thinking about reading. I think I'm going to put away my audiobook for the night because I did listen to quite a bit. I got up to probably about 60, maybe 70% of the way through the book, and I'm really enjoying it, but it is kind of just a slow moving pace, character kind of book, and so I'm not like really like dying to pick it up right now. I think I'll hold off and finish it tomorrow. So I could read some more of Keeper of the Lost Cities, which I am only on page 60. So I'm definitely not going to finish this for middle grade magic, but it doesn't matter. I still want to finish it for the reading rush, since it's my non-human main character. And then the other one that I really want to get done this week is The Red Notebook, so I could read that. And it's only 150 pages, so I'm just trying to decide if I want to start something new that I could probably just finish tonight and have done. Because I definitely want to read this one this week, because I've had this on my TBR for so long and it's ridiculous. It needs to get read today, or if I want to continue what I'm already reading. So that's the problem I'm having right now, deciding. Just so you also know, I am not really doing any of the challenges this week. Last year I did all the video challenges, and I don't know, I'm just not feeling motivated to do any video challenges. No real reason other than there's just a lot going on, and I just don't feel like I can give extra effort to the readathon. Like, I feel like between vlogging and trying to read and doing the house and the kids and everything, that's enough for me. Hey everyone, so it is Thursday, and so pretty much last night, everything I said, just forget about that. I didn't end up reading anything, so I sat down to read, but then I realized, oh, I really need to be working. So I guess I haven't told you guys that I started doing a part-time thing where I'm editing audiobooks, and it's like I'm working on my first project, and it's very flexible because this author takes a long time to get back to the narrator, so I'm not like having to feel stressed to do it really fast, which is good because of all the other stuff that's happening. And this chapter I'm working on is really long, so I'm just kind of working on it all week long. But I really just need to get some progress on it, so that's what I ended up doing instead, and I worked for like an hour and a half. And by the time I did that, I was feeling a little tired, so I went to bed and read a couple chapters of this before bedtime, but I'm still only on like page 90, so I'm not very far along. But yeah, I did not do what I said I was going to do, but that's how it is. I do need to work a few nights this week to get this chapter done by the weekend. And then today, it's already 1 o'clock. Things have just flown by. Like I said, I'm doing a horrible job of vlogging this week, but I'm trying to tell you what's going on. So this morning, when I got up, I wanted to listen to something while I was showering and getting ready, and I just wasn't in the mood to listen to the Guernsey Literary Society book. So I ended up starting the audiobook for In a Dark, Dark Wood, because I was kind of in a mood for a thriller. So I have the physical copy, and now I'm also listening to it, so I'll kind of go back and forth between the physical and the audio. I'm only on page 16, so I've only gotten 2 chapters read, so like, because it was just while I was showering. Well, I finished the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I don't know, the people were just so charming. Like I said, it's all written in letters, and so our main character, Juliet, is like writing back and forth to these people, and so we're getting to know them through their letters. And you know, it's a time when people wrote letters more, so it feels like they're telling more about their lives and personalities, and it's a full cast audiobook, and so that was great. So you get like the different English accents and like different kind of characterizations of the people, and I just really enjoyed it. And I don't know, it's very slow moving, so you have to be somebody that likes the historical fiction that kind of just moves slowly and focuses on characters. And it was kind of relaxing to watch. Sorry, she's just gonna be in the camera. It was relaxing to listen to. It wasn't perfect though, because since it was through letters, especially Juliet and what was happening in her life and the like little like kind of romantic thing, I didn't really connect to that because you weren't feeling it firsthand. It was all like her describing it, and you know, of course, it's never gonna be like when you're in the moment of the like feeling those attractions and feeling like the romance. You're never gonna get that right in a letter. So that part wasn't great. But I mean, a lot of the stuff about the war and everything was gonna be past tense anyway, so that was all good through the letters. So yeah, I would probably give it a 4 stars because I really enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say it was like my favorite because, yeah, I think there's just something that kind of prevents me from giving a book written in letters 5 stars, because we don't have any like narrative kind of, oh, she just took out my bookmark, of course. When you don't have any like narrative, sometimes I don't feel like I fully connect. So yeah, 4 stars, really enjoyed it. And now I feel like at least I've accomplished one book that was on my TBR, because out of the 3 books I have finished so far, that's the only one that was on my TBR. But that's how it goes. So just really quick, I just want to let you know that I'm going to end the vlog here and do another one for the last 3 days of the readathon. Since it's the weekend, there might be more time for content. I did read a little bit more of this while my kids were on or napping. I didn't have a lot of time, but I'm about 20% of the way into this, I would say. And so I think tonight I might be reading more of this book. I just feel like kind of just sitting here, having a glass of wine and reading. So that's probably the plan for tonight, but I'll let you know tomorrow. You know how I am, I completely could change my mind, but I'm going to go ahead and edit this vlog and get it up for tomorrow.